What's going on, guys? It's Coach Nick with Because of Why, your youth life coach. Guys, today I want to talk about something that I love talking about so much, because if we don't have goals in our life, well, the topic's about goals, by the way, but if we don't have goals in our life, it's like driving to nowhere. We're just wasting gas, we're wasting energy, we're wasting time and our mental energy and our effort, because we're not going actually anywhere. We're just driving aimlessly with no purpose, okay? So I want to talk about a car analogy and how you teach goals to kids. Just think about a car. When you're in a car, you usually, to find out where you're going, you place the destination in your GPS. And it takes you there. It finds you the best route, the best way, right? Same thing, when you set goals in your life, you're setting your mindset to the best route available to you to get you to your goal, okay? Now, the thing is that there will be failures, there will be mistakes, there will be times where there's detours along the way towards your destination, your goal. But again, it's just a detour. You learn from it, you go around it, and you keep moving forward. You see, the problem is when people set goals is they think of how they're going to get there. They think of the journey, but they don't realize that the journey unfolds as you go along, and you won't really know how to achieve your goal until after you've already done it. Okay, it's like Steve Jobs says, you can't connect the dots looking backwards. You can only connect the dots looking forward. Wait, no, I said that wrong. Okay, edit that. You can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. So you have to trust that somehow the how and everything will come to like more detail, more clear. You connect the dots looking backwards, not forwards, okay? Because you won't ever truly know how until you've done it. But the thing is that people look back in the rearview mirror so much in their cars that they focus on the past, how it used to be, how it used to go down, and they don't focus on what's going forward, of where they're heading, of their present steps, of where they're driving, of where they're going towards their destination. So that's a simple car analogy that you can teach to your kids about goal setting. You always have to put the destination in the maps, the Google Maps, the Apple Maps, whatever you do, and it takes you to your best route, okay? There's detours, there's failures, there's mistakes along the way, but you keep moving forward. Go around it, learn that lesson so you don't repeat that same mistake, okay? There's always something that may happen just out of the blue. Like the construction workers are there, or there may be a car accident. Just go around it, learn from that lesson. Now, again, don't look in the rearview mirror of what used to be, how it used to go down, how it used to happen. Look beyond that and just keep going towards your destination, okay? Towards your goal. So I'm going to share with you the simple 6-step process of setting effective goals in your life and actually how to achieve them, okay? So I'm not going to go in too much detail because that's another video, but I'm just going to give you the 6 steps. So the first step in the goal process is what I call the 3Ds plus Y. The 3Ds: define, describe, and decide what you want. You know, a lot of people, when they plant the seeds of their goals, they say, I want an apple, okay? And so you plant a bunch of apples, and in your life you get a bunch of red apples, and you're like, but I didn't want red apples. I wanted green apples. I also wanted yellow apples. Why did I get red apples? Because you weren't specific as to what you clearly wanted. Okay, so you have to actually define and describe in full detail what it is that you want as a goal. If you want more money in your life, you got to know what and how much specifically money that means. Because God doesn't respond, your mind doesn't respond to just, I want more of this, I want many more of this. It responds to clear, specific details. So if you tell yourself, I want to become the coolest person in the world, what does the coolest person in the world mean to you? I want to become the most confident person in the world. Define and describe that actual person of what confidence is to you. Define in great detail and describe. It should be so descriptive that anyone that sees that goal that you have, they clearly understand what it is. Like any stranger off the street can read that and they're like, okay, I know what they're talking about. I know what confidence means to them. Okay, and then decide. A lot of people, and Bob Proctor talks about this like a lot of times, and one of the examples he has was this couple he was working with, they said they wanted a new house. And he was, okay, what's the problem? And they're like, we don't have the money. He's like, you don't need the money. They're like, wow, what the hell are you talking about? And he was like, you haven't even decided that you wanted it yet. The money doesn't even matter. The heck with that. You got to first decide what you want. You see, a lot of people think of the how. How am I going to get the money? How am I going to go along the journey? How is this going to happen? Stop thinking about the road that you're going to be traveling and just think about the destination you're heading towards to. Because when we drive, we set our destination. We don't, like, usually everyone doesn't think, hey, this is the exact steps that I'm going to go along the way. It's going to be like this. It's going to be like that. Hey, obstacles happen, detours happen, mistakes and failures happen. You never know what's going to happen, but just keep visualizing. Get that mental picture in your head when you're defining, describing, deciding exactly what you want in your mind. Because again, we think in images. If I tell you to think of a green camera, you can think of a green camera. But what kind of camera? Okay, see, I thought of a Polaroid, but you may have thought of a Sony or a Canon. Define and describe. That's a great example right there. But we think in images, and when you define and describe exactly in perfect detail of what you want, hey, I want a red apple with a really shiny gloss to it, and it has a really high stem that is just beautiful, and maybe it has a bite taken out of it. I want that specific apple in my life. See, these unique characteristics about whatever you want, define and describe in great detail, and you can build a better picture of it. Because again, we think in images. Our thoughts are not just words, but they're images. And the way you achieve your goal is by making that image become clearer and clearer and clearer every single day, okay? It's like it starts out like barely visible, but as you continually repeat with emotion and more of affirmation upon your goal, it gets clearer and clearer and clearer where you can see the whole entire picture of your goal, okay? The first step, define, describe, and decide exactly what you want. Again, it doesn't matter how you're going to do it. You just have to know who you're going to become and take action upon that. I'll talk about that soon in the fourth step. Anyways, in the next part, in the first part of the goal setting process is asking yourself why. Having a definiteness of purpose. You see, a lot of us, we do things without ever really understanding why we do it, okay? So once you understand why you want that goal, you have a deep connection to it and it'll drive you much further, okay? The second goal is giving in return. Napoleon Hill said, there's never something for nothing, or there's never nothing for something, okay? In order to receive, you must give. In order to give, you must receive. Does that make sense? It's a cycle of life. It's the law of laws, the law of cause and effect. What you put out, you'll get back. Once you get back, you put out. It's a continuous cycle. You have to give something in return for your desire. So if you have a deep goal, what are you willing to give? What service are you willing to offer? What are you willing to give away? What type of person are you willing to become? What kind of sacrifices are you going to make? Okay? What are you giving in return for your desire? Number 3, time and date. This follows along with the first step of defining and describing exactly what you want, but you need to set a date. Again, I used to do this. On my work days in our business, Carmen and I would have all our clients base, I would have my personal development plan, I'd have my goals, I had this whole entire list, but I would never set a specific amount of time for when those should be completed. So I would take, let's say, the entire day for 4 items I had to complete. That was not efficient, that was not productive. What I would do is I would time myself in each section 60 minutes and I'd knock it out super fast, like in 30 minutes. When you set a time upon yourself, you set a more, what is it? A more like a push to get things done, get shit done faster, smarter, more efficient, and more productive, okay? Because if you don't set a time, you're basically pushing it away and you're like, someday I'll get to it. Someday it'll happen, whatever. No, you need to set a specific date, okay? Number 4 is create I like saying an initial action plan. Because again, you only truly know how you achieved your goal until you've actually done it. But an initial action plan, you need to take action, okay? You can't just sit on the goal and say, oh, I want this. You need to take an initial action plan, and that's by deciding of who you must become, okay? It doesn't matter whatever your goal is. If you want $10,000 added to your bank account, or if you want to become more of a confident person that is more social with people, makes more friends, always smiling, has the habit of asking really open, amazing, like non-complex questions to others so they keep talking about themselves, which makes them feel significant. Define and describe in detail of what it is your goal is. But you have to ask yourself, who must I become in order to achieve this goal? Because goals are not meant to be things that we can achieve, but it's something that seems so bizarre. It's huge. Why does it feel so bizarre? Because we have to become a totally different person to achieve that goal. Okay? It's the point of goal, the basis of goals is to grow ourselves. It's not really to get, but it's more to become. And becoming is better than being. Okay? So ask yourself, who must you become today to achieve that specific goal that you have? Okay? And take action on that. That's your action plan. Who must you become in order to have the good that you desire? Your dreams, your goals, what does that person have? What are the skills and habits that they have? How do they think about themselves? How do they think about the world? What are their beliefs? What are the limiting beliefs holding them back that they need to shatter? What are the glass ceilings they put on themselves that they need to break? You need to ask these important questions to yourself because you will never, ever, ever achieve your goal if you, first, don't believe in it and have faith, but second, or really ideally, you don't become that person. And you achieve your goal by becoming that person every day. It's like a staircase, okay? Setting goals in the journey is going up the staircase. And as you keep going, as you become that person every day, you start to have complete conviction in your abilities, in your beliefs, in your skills that you are that person. And then you develop this most powerful secret known as faith. If you have faith in yourself, faith in God, faith in everything, it starts playing out for you, starts working for you, and your whole mindset and mentality changes, okay? Number 5, putting it all together. Now, number 5 is tricky because you have to put in more affirmative and present tense. And I like using Bob Proctor's format. I'll put it up here. I am so happy and grateful now that I like adding this twist, feel. Because when you feel, the way you think in images and imprints in your subconscious mind is when you really feel emotions and the real feelings behind your thoughts, your images. It makes you feel good. And when you mix faith with love and all these wonderful positive emotions as gratitude, as joy, happiness, excitement, you feel that thought, that image, and you impress it so deep and where it's become rooted in your subconscious mind. So I write, I am so happy and grateful now that I feel ... And then write your goal that's specific where you say, by the date you put, I am so happy and grateful now that I feel. Write your entire goal out of what you wrote here and then write what you're planning to give in return for that. Because again, there's never nothing for something. Okay, so for example, I'm so happy and grateful now that I feel myself in possession of $10,000 by rendering the best quality service to my coaching clients, my one-to-one clients, and my group clients because I truly care about them and I want to transform their lives, okay? That's an example right there by, let's say, August 31st, 2024, okay? You write that and you write it on a goal card. Get a 3x5 note card and put it in your pocket. And your kids should have this in their pocket, you as well. Put it in your pocket because every day you feel it. Your sensory factors, we operate by our senses and our imagination. But a lot of us today, we operate by our senses because that's what we can really see, feel, taste, touch, hear, smell, whatever. So when you touch your note card, it triggers your sensory factor when you touch it. And it communicates to your nervous system, to your brain that, hey, this is your goal, this is what you're working for. And it reminds you, you're like, oh, shit, okay, that's what we're going for. Our goal, okay, that's a great reminder. Have it in your pocket. Read it as much as you can because when you read it again, you get it and visualize it. The picture becomes more and more clear in your mind, okay? So that actually was the sixth one is read it aloud every day and visualize it. Now, my thing that I had to find is with goals in the subconscious mind, you can't force it. You can't force under compulsion your subconscious mind to believe a certain thing. You can, but it's not going to work because whatever you resist persists. It's like going against an ocean wave. It's just going to keep knocking you down, man. You got to go with the flow. So what you do is to not really annoy your own mind, which it sounds funny. You read your goal card aloud. And I like saying using it as an incantation, like Tony Robbins says, not affirmation, because it's one thing saying, but with power, emotions, and movement, you add more emotions to it where it attaches to that thought, that image, and you get a great feeling, impresses your subconscious mind. But you read it aloud and visualize it once in the morning and once at night, and that's it. The rest of the day, don't even think about it. Just have your goal card in your pocket and just leave it there, okay? So those are the 6 steps. Very easy, very simple. Define, describe, decide what exactly you want, ask yourself why, have a definite purpose of it. And it's very important because as kids, we just don't know why we do a lot of things, and that really affects our decision making. So have a definiteness of purpose, not just your goals, but every decision they make. Just teach them that. Number 2, what do they plan to give in return for the good that they desire? Number 3, have a time and date, because if you don't have a sense of urgency, then you have a sense of scarcity and a lack of everything, okay? So you need to have a set time and date. Number 4, create an initial action plan of who you must become. Become that person starting now, starting today. And as you become that person, you get more conviction, you have complete faith in your goal. Because you're like, okay, I'm actually becoming this person every day. I'm actually taking the steps, okay. But the real how, the part that really stops a lot of people from setting high, big goals, again, the point of goals is not to set small goals like this, but it's to set big goals that you feel that almost seems impossible, but guess what, it's not. You can achieve literally anything you want. You just have to impress your subconscious mind so much where it delivers the set of blueprints, the hunches, the intuition feelings. You have to trust yourself, where it gives you the blueprint to your goal. Where you're just like, hey, I set a goal of achieving this. You read it aloud every day, and your subconscious mind is just randomly, you're like, hey, I need to shake the dude's hand. Hey, I need to talk to that person. Go do it. Trust yourself. That's your subconscious mind telling you, this is the set of blueprints, the rules, what you should be doing to get to this goal. Follow that intuition, listen to God, okay? But the how always scares people. You never will truly know how until you actually achieve it. Again, Steve Jobs' quote, you can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect the dots looking backwards, so you have to trust that somehow all the dots will somehow connect, okay? Number 5, putting it all together in an affirmative and present tense, just like I shared with you up there. And number 6, reading it aloud with emotion and motion, so you create that really sparked up feeling and visualize every morning and every night until you actually achieve it, okay? It could be 30 days, it could be 60 days, 90 days, it could be a week, it could be a day, it could be a year, okay? The time really depends on how much conviction and belief and faith you have in that goal, where you have zero doubt, that you just know it's there, that you have it, it's yours, okay? That's when it will actually come. So be patient in the process and take action every day to becoming that person. I hope you enjoy this video. I'm Coach Nick. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want, because I love sharing this wisdom with you so you can share it with your kid. So today, that was how exactly you teach goals to kids. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next video. Little baby, just a little baby.